Nature verse back at y'all with another one. You either take a risk or you work for somebody who did. Simple as that. We're dealing with cryptocurrencies today for beginners. I'm going to take you back somewhere near the early days. You remember the World Wide Web? That's where you get your www dot from. It's an information system that enables content sharing over the internet using a graphical user interface to facilitate access to documents and other web resources according to specific rules. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that's where you get your HTTP from. So these are things, if you go on the internet, you've done seen over the years, the www dot and the HTTP, but might not never know what it was. Well, that's for the web, which we'll call that Web One for right now. Web One was just dealing with sending information across, texts, emails, that kind of stuff across the internet, so somebody could utilize it, from another city, state, country, whatever. Then they went from that to, for lack of better term, but Web Two, you was able to do MySpace and Facebook, Instagram, all this kind of things. And then we go to Internet of Things where you can hook up phones to, watch a phone through YouTube or control your thermostat, your doorbells. You hook everything through your Wi-Fi, and you can see what's coming through your cameras on your security system. But that was, I'm gonna just say it's Internet of Things, even though we could call it something else. But then we go from Internet of Things to Internet of Value. That's where we come into our cryptocurrencies at. We get Internet of Value. Crypto and blockchain are revolutionizing the exchange of value, much like the internet did for the exchange of information. And the journey will be very much the same. The cryptocurrency movement was created from the ashes of the 2008 financial crisis with the belief that the financial system should be transformed to work better for everyone. So that's where the cryptocurrency came out of. Is it's like the first block of Bitcoin was they referenced this 2008 financial crisis. A lot of people lost a whole lot of value in their properties. Some people even took their lives during that time. So we know something's wrong and we got to do something better. So cryptocurrency is one of the things that's trying to, make that happen. Even though a lot of people are scared of it, just like, when the internet came out, I didn't want to touch it myself. World Wide Web, it's a trap, So called the World Wide Web or internet, something, enslave you. And the same thing a lot of people think now with Bitcoin or these cryptocurrencies, they're coming here to enslave us, bringing us to this digital slavery. And so to speak, it is, but just like a hammer. You can build a house with a hammer, or it can knock you upside your head with a hammer. It's just a tool. Depending on how we use it and, how we put, these governments' feet to the fire and make them do what they supposed to do. I don't have much confidence in people these days because I don't think, a lot of us just going to let the government do what they want to do and we're not going to do much of nothing. But we'll see what happens as it unfolds. But I'm not going to just stay out of this game, not this time. I stayed out the internet, but that was the internet of information. And back in them days, I was the information minister for a whole lot of information. If you know me and you was there, you would know what I'm talking about. But now we're dealing with internet of value. You need to get on an index. This is CoinGecko. If you want to find out prices of Bitcoin and such things, Ethereum, we got XRP. If you want to find out these prices, you need to go on the indexes. They got Coin, Market Cap, Crypto Bubbles. There's a lot of different indexes you can go to find out your prices. So we looking at Bitcoin today is December 31st, 2025. Bitcoin is 87,677 and some change for one Bitcoin. But you don't have to worry about that. You can buy 10 or $15 worth, $100 worth, and you don't have to get a whole, you can get fractions of it. Same thing with Ethereum. One Ethereum is $2,974.76. But you don't have to buy one whole one. You can get fractions, get $10 worth, $20 worth, whatever. So the smallest unit of a Bitcoin is called a Satoshi. That's like if you had a dollar, the smallest unit of a dollar is a penny. But with Bitcoin, it's called a Satoshi. So you could just, get a few Satoshis and be all right. XRP, the same thing. One of those, most people can get $1.85, but you don't even have to do that. You could get 50 cent worth and get a couple of drops. The smallest unit of XRP is called drops. So you can get a couple drops of XRP. So forth and so on. We got all kind of other cryptocurrencies, Uniswap, that did me real well. I won a little airdrop with them. Shiba Inu, I hear a lot of people talking about. Not one of my favorite, but it's out there. Chainlink is something I kind of like. That's only $12.23. Solana, you can get some Solana for $124 for one. Ain't too bad. But this is where basically you just get your prices. Just like if you wanted stocks, you would have an index for stocks. Also, I'm gonna go into gold because we went into the internet and want to show you this thing on gold. I didn't go into money like sound money. Sound money. For there to be sound money, you have to have the three principles: a medium of exchange, store of value, and a unit of account. And the money most of us use here in the United States only has two of those principles, whereas it's a medium exchange and a unit of account, but it's not a store of value. That's what you call deflation. You got inflation and deflation. The money is deflation. Inflation refers to, I guess, the prices of the goods going up. So they're going up. So they just kind of reverse it on you where you don't see it. Instead of the price of these, say this $100 bill getting deflated, and you would see instead of this $100 on here, it should have a $5. Maybe had the same face Ben Franklin on there, but it should have a 5 instead of that 100. So you would know that it's no longer worth $100. It's only worth $5 now. So then you could see it. But most of us don't see that the money is being deflated. Sound money would be like silver. You can have unit of accounts, uh, measurements, and you could have store of value. You have all three with silver and gold. So that would be sound money. You have all three of those things, even with stuff like Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a deflationary item, even though it seems like it's not worth nothing. But for people who say Bitcoin ain't worth nothing or is created out of thin air, then well, so was Facebook, so was Instagram. But all these things make money. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, you kind of look at it as investing in software, investing in a network, so to speak. So if you're investing in a network that's going to move all the money, and every time something moves on that network, you get paid or you get a percentage, then I think that's a good bet for, some investments and some things to do out here. So that's just kind of how I look at it. This is not financial advice. I'm not no financial advisor, but I could give you some advice about some finance, even though I'm not a financial advisor. So and this is just for educational purposes right now. Some little entertainment too, maybe. But let's go to this thing this guy did on gold.
America's gold was supposed to back the dollar. Leaving the gold standard was the most costly mistake we ever made.
What was so bad about gold?
It kept them honest, but they wanted power. Kid, folks today think this is just how life's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
Back in my day, one job could feed a family. My mother stayed home, father worked, and we ate together every night. Didn't realize how good we had it. After the World War, they promised gold-backed dollars, but they broke that promise. They printed paper backed by nothing, funded wars we couldn't afford and shouldn't have been involved in. But France caught on and sent a warship to get back their gold.
Truth is, if more countries followed, our vaults would be empty and game over.
I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold.
Turns out, when you fake the money, everything else follows, and you screw the next generation over. And it snowballs, kid. Prices shot up, paychecks didn't, life got tougher, and nobody knew why. We tried raising our kids the old way, but we didn't have the time or the money.
So you outsourced parenting?
Yeah, I guess you could say we did. Government schools raised them, and the TV taught them bad morals. They learned debt, not savings, bought houses they couldn't afford, played video games, gambling, antidepressants, and crimes. Families fractured, divorce rates doubled, birth rates plummeted. Things got so bad, people started financing Chipotle.
Financing a burrito?
Yeah, it's getting bad. Obesity, people eating cheap slop instead of real food. We got softer, sicker, and lazier. A nation in decline. But it didn't happen overnight. When Nixon left the gold standard, we traded sound money for a lifetime of debt.
How will they ever pay it back?
I don't think they plan to. Both sides keep spending like there's no tomorrow and leaving the bill to your generation. We didn't get it right, but you've still got a chance. So, take the reins, kid. Hold your ground and don't give up on sound money.
And we'll see what happened with all that, because just like you see in that little clip, Nixon, he suspended the convertibility of, you had silver certificates back then. It was redeemable for, an ounce of silver or gold or whatever. And he's just suspended that. So, what good is having sound money if you ain't got sound laws to go with it? So these people are just, and now they want to take you from this paper dollar. So they take you from something light to something heavier, which was the paper is lighter than, the coins. They're heavy, the bulky, you got to use a safe and, you got to store them. It's a whole lot that goes with it. And, crypto is coming right behind it. So crypto is the lighter form of the money where it can go through the internet. So it's, in a sense, they're trying to trick you and trying to keep you, you have to be able to use both of these forms. You got to be able to use the heavy money and the new lighter money and stay up to date with the technology too. Here's one on credit that I thought was pretty good too.
Poor people don't understand how credit works. Let me explain. Credit is debt. Rich people borrow money to buy things that make them more money. Poor people use credit to buy things that lose money over time or even cost them money. If the thing you're buying doesn't put more money in your pocket, never buy it on credit. Here's something that poor people don't realize, okay? Debt is modern-day slavery. Someone else is entitled to the fruits of your labor until that debt is repaid. The moment you get in debt, you're enslaving yourself until you buy back your freedom with interest. That's why they send you the credit card for free in the mail. That's why they allow you to pay it in installments. The sooner they get you and the longer the payout period, the more money you'll make them. That's why they made student debt a thing. If you don't have enough money to buy it in cash, you cannot afford it. You need to act your wage. Okay, as harsh as it might sound, just because you can afford the monthly payment doesn't mean you can afford the item.
The system wasn't built for you to win. You went to school to memorize facts you never use. You were trained to raise your hand, wait your turn, and follow instructions. Then they told you, get a job, work 40 hours a week, give half of it to tax, retire at 67 if you're lucky. That's not a life. That's a script. And most people don't question it because they're too tired from living it. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when you realize freedom was never going to be handed to you. You have to build it. And that's why I teach digital products, because ownership is the only way out. No boss, no begging, no clocking. You move different when you know the system was never designed to serve you. It was designed to use you. Break the script or stay stuck in it.
Yes, it wasn't built for us. It was built to control us. Totally agree. Yeah, so this was a good graph too, about giving energy and taking energy and using us as batteries, learning new things. If you learn a bunch of new stuff, it helps give you more energy to keep going to learn stuff. Simplifying things, positive thinking, healthy foods and stuff like that help you. But, stuff like fear, the news, stress, clutter, kind of drains you. That old fast food stuff, stay away from it because, when you're young, it's all right. But as you get older, that stuff starts wearing on you and you got to do different. One more graph, and I think I'm out of here. Read it for yourself. Laziness kills ambition, anger kills wisdom, fear kills dreams, ego kills growth, jealousy kills peace, doubt kills confidence. Now read it from right to left. Ambition kills laziness, wisdom kills anger, dreams kills fear, growth kills ego, peace kills jealousy, and confidence kills doubt. That's all I got for y'all today. I'll see y'all on the next one.